is who is going to be the next Nigerian president.
Might be me though. It's just that Nigeria does not support an independent candidate. Yeah.
So our conversation here is going to be about who is going to be the next Nigerian president.
Yeah.
We'll be having conversations along that line, bringing guests, bringing aspirants, bringing candidates to discuss these issues on the run of the 2023 election.
Yeah, to be frank, let's speak about the next Nigerian president. I could say for sure, we have 4 major runners in the election. So now, for instance, we're seeing some of the major political parties having candidates like Atiku Abubakar from the northeast. We're seeing Bola Tinubu from the southwest, City Boy. We're seeing Peter Obi from the southeast. We're seeing Kwankwaso from the northwest. Do you think tribe and religion will be a deciding factor in this election?
My issue is why when you go to buy petrol in the filling station, when you are queuing up, did they come and ask you, oh, if you are from the southeast, line up here, you get first, or if you are from the northeast? They don't. When you go and buy food in the market, nobody asks you that. Do you understand? When for example, in the southeast, we've seen the menace of the unknown gunmen killing people here and there. In the southwest, we've seen killings here. Do you understand? Northeast are battling with banditry. Do you understand? So every part of this. So when Nigerians want to say tribe, it doesn't make sense to me because we are all in this together. Mm-hmm. Every Nigerian is a victim. At this point, we are all victims. Yeah. So when anybody at this stage with what is going on in this country still wants to align to an ethnic or religious, I feel like the person is not a serious person.
So do you succumb to Muslim ticket for APC?
The thing about that conversation is this: Nigeria is, I feel at this point, Nigeria is the most divided. Mm-hmm. We've seen the attacks in the churches, kidnapping of Khan president. Yeah. Do you understand? All of that, and Nigeria is multi-religious. Yeah. For the sake of representation, this is a democracy. Yeah. For the sake of representation, it is proper to have a balance. No, it's proper to have a balance on the tickets. Yeah. In the sense that we know the agitations. We know a Muslim ticket has flied in Nigeria before. Yeah. It worked. MK Abiola and Babagana Kingigbe, it worked. But Nigeria then and Nigeria now are totally different. Yeah. So if we're talking of a Muslim or a Christian ticket, we have to be sensitive to the plight of Nigerians. Mm-hmm. We know the level of division. And another thing is, who has the trust of Nigerians? Mm-hmm. MK Abiola at the point had the trust of Nigerians, could rally Nigerians around. Mm-hmm. But currently, is there any of those candidates that the Nigerians can trust and say, we'll put our trust in you and no matter what, it will happen? Mm-hmm. We're seeing these kinds of things happen. So when we are talking of Muslim or Christian again, I think we should look into the realities of our society. Yeah, I think for me, I'm a serious advocate of competence, character, and because that is all we need. Mm-hmm. It's not about we've seen in Ukraine, a comedian is leading the country through one of their most difficult times. He's a comedian. He was a comedian. Yeah, he's leading Ukraine through one of their tough, most difficult periods. So we should look at the characters of these people. Yeah. I strongly believe competence, character matters, but also we should toe the path of equity and fairness, and also logic.
Yeah, I think it's necessary for us to always consider federal character when we want to make decisions in this country, because the southwest, southeast, every part of this country has like some level of. But one thing about our leaders in this country is that when it comes to making negotiations about what goes into their interest, and when it comes to their interest, they don't think about any of the things. Religion and tribe and culture doesn't come into their conversation when it comes to. Do you understand? When it comes to creating an alliance with somebody who will give them money, or when it comes to creating an alliance with somebody who is going to put them into power, it's just that I don't know why it has to bother with the masses in making these critical decisions. So I think they always use this fact about. I think it's just necessary for us to consider a visionary leader at this point in time in our country, because we're witnessing. For instance, now we're producing fuel and the price of fuel crude oil keeps going up, and it's affecting us selling fuel because we have to go back all the way to go and refine fuel outside this country. We don't have a functional refinery. But for the sake of this conversation, who among these candidates is your choice?
At this point, I think to stand beside a candidate is. It's not early. Most of these candidates have track records. So, but I'll say something. Before we support a candidate or whoever, what are the qualities of the next Nigerian president? I think we should start our conversation from there.
Yeah.
What are the qualities of the next Nigerian president? I will not just want to support a candidate because I like how he looks, or I like the cap he wears, or I like the clothes he wears, or his wristwatch, or whatever. I don't think those are the parameters, or he's for my ethnic or religious group. I don't think those are the parameters that Nigerians should use in selecting a leader. I think it should go way beyond that. And the fact that we've not deepened this conversation to that extent has caused us a lot of misery as a country. You see here people supporting somebody because, I like him, he's from my state, he's from my ethnic group, from my geopolitical zone.
Because he talks his suit well.
Exactly. So those are, because if you look at it, we've had a northern president and we've seen what has happened in the north. We've had a southern president and we've seen this thing. So wherever this person comes from, Christian, Muslim, I don't think those are the parameters. I think the parameters should go deeper. So I think we should list out. Now I'm throwing the question back to you. So I'll answer, but let's hear from you.
For me, I think the next Nigerian president should be somebody who's going to address major issues. We're talking about somebody who's going to look at the fact about the insecurity that's growing in this country.
Very important.
Insecurity has affected almost virtually everything in the state of the country. Running from businesses to farming to agriculture to health sectors, all are affected by insecurity. We see billions and billions going into this insecurity.
And there's something I'd like to talk about. It's about the extravagant confidence of the two major parties, if we say. There's this thing where they keep going on about this person doesn't have structures, we have been on ground, but I want us to look at it objectively. The Nigerian people trusted the People's Democratic Party with 16 years. In those 16 years, let's judge their activities. How well did they rule? Did they lead Nigeria really? Do you understand? Then in 2015, the Nigerian people, this was the verdict of the popular vote. The Nigerian people said, okay, we are tired and we want change. And 7 years down the line, there's the alleged word on the streets that says we have moved from frying pan to fire. So I want to get your perspective on what you think about it. Do you think Nigerians were too quick to rush to change, or the change they promised was not what they got? Or also another perspective is, do you think 2023 is another time when Nigerians will rush to another change away from the major platforms that are there? So where do you think Nigerians are going to likely toe their lines to?
For somebody who has been affected in the recent time, for instance, you have not been in school for almost 10 months, you won't require a structure to vote for the right candidates to go into power. But at the same time, it's also necessary for us to engage our political parties who are coming with other candidates that, yes, what are you going to come out with? I think we need to also see like the policy agenda coming out from these people. Since most
of them have policy agendas, but it's their team that just wrote it for them. When you ask them, they say, go and read it online.
They go and read it online, yes. But I think we also need to see them. We also need to see people who are going to be constructive about how they are going to go about this process. Like now, for instance, before the Buhari came into power, they promised that $1 becoming $1. He just thought maybe, I think it's just a thing that they think maybe they will just act like maybe Jesus or Prophet Muhammad be and it is. Do you understand? And so we need to see people who are going to follow process and who are going to tell us that this is how we're going to go out.
8 out of every 10 cars that move on a Nigerian road in every millisecond is a Toyota product. So majority of Nigerians are using Toyota, but just recently Toyota moved their plants to Ghana. 8 out of 10 Nigerians using a smartphone today is either Infinix, Tecno, or Samsung. None of those people have plants in Nigeria to manufacture these products. So the question is, where will these jobs come from?
And I think you see, it just also drives us to the conversation when Twitter also opened its headquarters in Ghana. Yeah. So, where Nigeria has one of the highest number of users from Africa. Do you understand? But they had to go. So I think it's necessary for government at this point to put on their thinking cap. See, we don't just have to have. I think the fact that we're having leaders who just come to Abuja to come and share federation accounts has continually become a problem. If state governors are beginning to man their spaces, create their resources.
This is a very serious. This is true. This is federalism. So this is a conversation for another day. But I don't want us to start.
Yes, I think it's just we need to find leaders, because if you know that yes, if your state is not secured,
no food for you.
No food for you. You don't have long convoys.
If you use that same investment, is long. No food for you. That's all.
And then you know that yes, you must be up and doing as a governor. There was a time when a sitting governor in this country said he spends at least 3 days in the States. So you understand that, because you don't have
with his chest, he said it.
So I think it's time for us to know that this program, the Nigeria's next president, is focusing on championing a cause whereby the next president of Nigeria should know that he's not coming to Nigeria to come and live la vida loca, come and arrive in Spain today, Dubai next tomorrow. It's a program.
Tourist.
So we're not empowering a Jonketian leader or a tourist leader. We're bringing a leadership that would have to come and reshape our country, put the country in a space of growth and revitalization. Because Nigeria is, I'm sorry to say, is fast growing into becoming a dying state.